Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel for a brand new mystery with Molly, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the case of Penny Bell. I have another collab video for you today. I know I'm doing so many at the moment and I'm really enjoying it. Today I'm going to be collabing with Curiosities. You've probably heard of her channel. She's absolutely amazing at true crime videos. She just has such a unique style of doing true crime videos and I really enjoy them, so I definitely urge you guys to go and check her out. I will leave her channel linked in the iCard and also in the description. We also filmed a collab over on her channel, so make sure you go and check that video out once you have watched this one. I just want to clarify that my intent with these videos is never to offend or upset anyone that may have been involved in this case. All the information I have found on this video has been from several different sources online, such as articles and documentaries and stuff like that, so I do apologise if anything is incorrect, or if you think that I've missed something out that is really important to the case. As always, please feel free to let me know in the comments. And having said all of that, let's just get into today's case. So Ruth Penelope Bell, also known as Penny Bell, was a 43-year-old woman born on the 28th of February 1948 in Somerset. At the time of her murder, Penny actually had a husband called Alistair, and they also had 2 children. Her first child, Matthew, was 11 at the time, and he was Penny's first child from her first marriage, and then she also had a second child with Alistair called Lauren, who was 9. And the Bell family all lived together in a large detached house in the area of Bakerswood in Denham in Buckinghamshire, England. Penny's husband Alistair was actually an estate agent, and Penny herself actually ran a really successful recruitment agency, and so as you can probably gather, they were quite well off as a family. They were very financially stable, and by all accounts Penny in general was just quite a happy woman. She had a really nice family, nice friends, she lived in a nice area, she had a great career, she was just very happy and content with her life. However, that would all change on the 6th of June 1991. This particular day was just like any other normal day for Penny. At 8:30 AM that morning, Alistair, Penny's husband, actually left for work, and he noted that Penny seemed bright and chirpy. However, Alistair did say that Penny didn't actually wave goodbye to him that morning, which she normally would. However, he didn't really think too much of it. He just thought because of what was going on in their house at the time, because the couple were having a kitchen extension, that she was just busy dealing with that she didn't have time to wave him goodbye. Later at 9:40 AM, Penny said goodbye to the builders because, like I said, they were having work on their kitchen done, so she said goodbye to them at 9:40 AM, and she also told them that she was running late for an appointment that she had in 10 minutes. And so Penny left the house and set off in a blue XJS Jaguar car. However, less than 3 hours later, Penny's body was found. Her body was found in a leisure centre car park in Greenford, about 10 miles away from her home. 2 women who arrived at this leisure centre actually said that they saw Penny in her car at around 11 AM. These women said that they saw the car's hazard warning lights on, and they also said that the windscreen wipers were on, and they saw a woman inside the car slumped over the driver's seat, and they didn't really think too much of it. They thought it was a bit odd, but they just thought the woman inside the car was sleeping. However, when they came out of the leisure centre around an hour later, they actually noticed blood spatter inside the car, and so they rang the police.
Penny's body was slumped over the steering wheel in her own Jaguar car. She had been stabbed approximately 50 times. So police turned the car park into an active crime scene and began trying to piece together what had happened to Penny. It was determined that the attacker had begun stabbing Penny whilst they were sitting in the passenger's seat, before then getting out of the car and walking around to the driver's side window. Then the killer continued to stab Penny through the window, and this attack would have lasted a few minutes. Penny didn't stand a chance against her attacker. And like said before, Penny's autopsy revealed that she had been stabbed 50 times in the chest and arms with a knife that was about 3 to 4 inches long. There was no evidence of sexual assault on Penny's body, so this ruled out a sexual motive for the murder. A forensic examination of Penny's purse and handbag revealed no fingerprints or DNA, so at first it was believed that robbery could also be ruled out. However, when police spoke to Alistair, Penny's husband, this theory couldn't be discarded so quickly. Alistair told police that 3 days before Penny's murder, she had withdrawn £8,500 from her bank, and it was believed she intended to pay the builders with this money. On the morning of her murder, she left the house with this money, however, it has since never been located. It's very possible the killer could have taken this money. In the car, there were also wallpaper samples that had been given to Penny by the builders between the driver and the passenger seat, almost as if Penny had been showing them to someone prior to her murder, which begs the question, did she know her attacker? Forensics were able to retrieve some small fingerprints from the car that didn't belong to any of the Bell family. However, apart from that, there was pretty much no DNA or forensic evidence found in the car or in a search of Penny's home. As a standard procedure, police looked into the people who were closest to Penny, and so they took her husband Alistair in for questioning. But there was no evidence linking Alistair to the crime, and so he was released without charge.
And so at this point, police were appealing for witnesses, and they did actually receive some information from people who thought they saw Penny on the morning of her murder. 2 witnesses actually came forward to investigators and told them that they saw a woman who looked like Penny driving around Greenford really slowly while she was wrestling a man in her car. They also said that it looked like the woman was mouthing the words "help me" to passing cars, however, no one bothered to stop and help Penny. The man that was seen in the car with Penny was described as approximately 40 years old with dark, cropped, swept back hair, possibly sporting a beard and wearing a bracelet. However, despite police releasing this information, this description of the man in the car with Penny, it was no use in trying to identify him. I just think it's crazy that this attack, this murder on Penny took place in broad daylight and no one saw anything, in a public place as well. No one saw anything. I just think that's really weird. So if you remember, on the morning of Penny's murder, she actually told the builders that she was running late for an appointment that she had that day, and when police talked to Alistair, her husband, about this appointment, he found it really odd because he said that there was no appointment written down in her business diary. And Penny was quite an organised person, to be honest. She would always write down her appointments, she always knew where she had to be and when and stuff like that, so Alistair just thought this was really weird. Alistair said, "I can only think she must have received a last-minute telephone call." However, when the builders were asked if they heard Penny on the phone that morning, they said that they didn't hear her on the phone at all, and so this was just really weird. Another thing that's really weird about this case is the fact that Penny was found in the leisure centre car park, because everyone said that she had never even been to this leisure centre before, so why was she there? Did she receive a call from the killer telling her to meet them there? Does that mean she knew who her killer was? So obviously the police were asking her family and friends if they knew anyone that would want to do this to Penny, but they couldn't think of anyone. As far as they were aware, Penny had no known enemies. Soon after Penny's murder, it was revealed by the media that Alistair, her husband, had actually had an 11-year relationship with a man prior to being married to Penny, and so some people started to speculate that maybe Alistair's ex actually killed her. Maybe this ex was jealous and decided to kill Penny. This happens a lot in these kind of cases. Alistair was very open about his past and about his past relationships, and he said that he was on really good terms with his ex, and so was Penny. In fact, his ex was a guest at his and Penny's wedding. However, the media kind of twisted this story and ran with it, and sadly the public became less sympathetic towards Alistair, who was desperately trying to find justice for his dead wife. This case happened in 1991, and unfortunately back then homosexual relationships were not as accepted as they are today, and so when it was revealed in the media that Alistair had been in a homosexual relationship, people started to feel less sorry for him just because he was in a relationship with a man prior to meeting Penny. Up until this point, police had been receiving around 250 calls regarding Penny's case a day. However, the day after the media revealed that Alistair was in a homosexual relationship before him and Penny got together, not one single call came in to help with Penny's case. Just because Alistair had previously been in a homosexual relationship, people didn't want to help him anymore. People didn't want to help him in finding his wife's killer. And from then on, people became really suspicious of Alistair, Penny's husband, even though he had a very solid alibi for the time of Penny's murder.
However, soon more reports began coming in from the public, and with these reports, police were able to piece together Penny's movements that morning. So, we know that Penny left the house to go to an appointment at 9:40 a.m. Then a few hours later, around midday, her body was discovered. So what happened between those hours? Police needed people's memories of that day in case anyone may have seen Penny or her killer. One witness came forward to say that she may have seen Penny and her potential killer. This witness was walking her dog at Black Park, which was around 5 minutes away from Penny's home, when she saw a woman in a car who looked like Penny pull up in a lay-by at around 9:45 a.m. She then saw a man get in at the passenger side of the car and then they drove away. An e-fit image of the passenger in Penny's car was created and released to the public, but it brought forward little leads in the investigation.
So this car park that Penny's body was found in, I believe, had approximately about 142 parking spaces, and although there was no CCTV from the car park, staff who were working on the day of Penny's murder actually said it was really busy in the leisure centre that day, so this just makes it even more confusing that no one saw anything. From crime scene photos, you can see Penny's car is parked forward in a space and there's loads of bushes covering the front of the car, so it makes sense that no one would have seen Penny's actual murder taking place, I suppose. But one thing that I don't understand is how no one saw the attacker leave the scene. The killer would have obviously been absolutely covered in blood because Penny's murder was a brutal one with a knife, and so how did no one see this man walking away from the scene? I don't understand that. However, I feel like this kind of leads on to a theory that maybe Penny's attacker had someone waiting for him so that as soon as he murdered Penny, he could jump into someone else's car for a quick getaway. Did Penny owe someone money? Is that why she took out £8,500? And is this why the money was never located? Was Penny being blackmailed by someone? If so, why? What did someone have against Penny? I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but there's just so many possible theories surrounding this case. In 1994, a man called John Richmond, a builder with apparently a shady past, actually contacted the Sun newspaper, and he claimed that he and Penny had been having an affair and he actually saw her on the day of her murder. John demanded £80,000 for his story, and he said that on the morning of Penny's murder, he and her actually met up and they kissed. There is more to this story, but not many people believe John's claims, to be honest, including Penny's husband Alistair. A lot of people think that he's probably just making it up for the money that he could gain from it, because like I said, he got £80,000 from the Sun newspaper for this story. He was questioned by the police regarding Penny's murder, but ultimately he was released without charge and dropped as a suspect. During the course of the investigation, police have interviewed over 8,000 people and 2,500 written statements were logged. And police also looked into Robert Napper, a convicted murderer, as a suspect. However, he was also ultimately ruled out. At one point, there was a £20,000 reward for anyone with any information regarding this case that may lead to an arrest. However, I don't know if that reward still stands today. I don't know if there even is a reward anymore. I don't even know if Penny's case is still actively being looked into today. Obviously, this was 28 years ago now, so I don't know if police have exhausted all leads and it's just gone cold, or if they're still looking into it. I hope they are. And that is pretty much it on this case. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much to Dark Curiosities for collabing with me on this case. Like I said at the start of the video, we also filmed a case over on her channel, so I will leave her channel linked in the iCard and in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again very, very soon for another mystery with Molly. Bye guys.